Thank you all for being here. My name is Captain Krista Stedman. That's CHRISTA-STEDMAN. I am the Public Information Officer for Austin Travis County EMS. We are here this evening to provide you all with an update on the outbreak of overdose incidents that Austin Travis County EMS and our public safety partners have responded to throughout the day today. I want you guys to keep in mind that this is an evolving situation, and so any numbers or statistics we give are very likely to change as we progress through the evening and into tomorrow. So you'll be speaking with Division Chief Angela Carr, who is Division Chief over our Integrated Services Division, as well as Chief Deputy Medical Director Dr. Heidi Abraham. I do want to stress that this is something that is affecting all populations across the city. We have had a couple of areas where incidents are concentrated, but this is affecting the entire city. We will not be able to speak to any of the investigative piece or anything that the Austin Police Department would be addressing, so I just want to lay that out. And we will not be able to speak to anything regarding any of the activities involved with the protest on campus. So with that, I will hand it over to Chief Carr. After Dr. Abraham is done speaking, we'll take a couple of questions. Okay, Chief Carr?
Good evening, all. Around 9 a.m. this morning, the city experienced a sudden surge in opioid-related overdose calls. It was concentrated in the downtown area. In response to this emergency situation, a rapid response team comprising of Austin Travis County EMS and our valued partners at the Homeless Strategy Office and Urban Alchemy, we were immediately deployed to the area to respond. Upon our arrival, our team swiftly distributed Narcan rescue kits similar to these throughout that area to counteract the effects of the opioid overdoses and provide life-saving intervention to those affected. Throughout the day, we've seen an unexpected volume of opioid overdoses across the city, and Austin Travis County EMS has responded to over 30 suspected overdoses. Unfortunately, we also suspect potentially 4 deaths from this surge so far. I want to emphasize the safety and well-being of our residents are the top priority, and we're working diligently to address this crisis. We're actively coordinating efforts to ensure that all necessary resources are being mobilized, and we are going to assist in all of those affected by this outbreak. We would like to acknowledge the outstanding efforts of our public safety partners in the Austin Police Department and the Austin Fire Department. They are also working this surge with us. Additionally, we encourage anyone who may be struggling with substance abuse to seek help and support from the local resources that are available. We're going to continue to provide updates and information as it becomes available, and I'm going to introduce Chief Deputy Medical Director Heidi Abraham.
Good evening. You should never use an unknown substance, but if you choose to, we encourage people to start low, go slow, and never use alone. You should always use with a friend nearby who has Narcan and is able to call 911. The trend that we're seeing in this group of overdoses is that it is unusually deadly. There have been 4 deaths so far that we suspect are related to these overdoses. We've not experienced overdoses of this volume in several years. The trend that we're seeing with this group is we have about 2 to 3 calls per day. We're now in the mid to high 30s for today. That is about a 1,000% increase. It's also important to note that these overdoses have been responsive to Narcan. In fact, it is thanks to a lot of first responders like the Austin Police Department that some of these people are alive today. Austin Police Department was first on scene for several of these and administered Narcan and definitely helped save these folks' lives. I think at this point we can take some questions.
True, it was in form of crack cocaine.
The patients report a number of different types of drugs that they think they were using today, which is again why I'd emphasize we're seeing it in multiple different types of drugs. Anytime you're using a substance, regardless of which you think it may be, you should suspect that it may be contaminated with something else and have Narcan available.
So this surge started at about 9 a.m. this morning. How long has it been going on, and is it still progressing?
That's correct. So the initial couple of calls started about 9 o'clock this morning, and it is progressing as we speak. The calls are still happening. We're still finding patients. And like I said, the situation continues to evolve. That's why we want everybody to be as safe as they can. Never use a substance that you don't know what's in it. Never take a medication that wasn't prescribed by a doctor, dispensed by a pharmacy. You should just assume that anything has something that you don't want in it and just abstain. Like Dr. Abraham and Chief Carr were saying, if you're going to use, make sure that you're doing it with somebody who is staying sober and has Narcan. Other questions?
You said you guys can't really talk about the potential source for this because that will be more on the APD side.
Yeah,
So
that's
not
gonna.
all of them consume from the same dealer or same location.
That's going to be better answered by the Austin Police Department. What I can tell you is that we have seen several sort of location clusters, but it is affecting the entire city.
Anything you can mention on those clusters like Red River and 7?
Sure. So the initial ones, as we mentioned in our press release earlier, the initial couple of calls were isolated to downtown, and since this morning, we've just sort of seen it expand from there.
The specific addresses that will be given at this time?
No, not at this time.
For video purposes, like where this happened, downtown.
Oh, I got you. So the most of the calls that came in the downtown area this morning were up and down Netchess Street between about 6th and 8th Street. We saw it go as far west as Guadalupe and fairly far east and into the south and north parts of the city as well.
Have you seen any? Have you taken any calls from residences or anything? Residents, or is it mainly just public area?
So this is happening at residences, at businesses, and in areas accessible to the general public.
And you can't answer to anything as to why this is happening?
So, I mean, when we see outbreaks like this, the suspicion is essentially there's a new quote-unquote batch in town, right? So this is, I can't speak to any investigative pieces, but, you know, it's fairly likely that it's all at least from the same source or same couple of sources because of the similar signatures that we're seeing in the symptoms. Any others?
No, I know you said it affects all races, but can you at least tell us like approximate age? Are we talking like people in their 20s and 30s or young?
I don't have that information readily available, but I can definitely get that information and get it back to you. What I can say, just based off of all of the call texts that I've been reading, is it's affecting all ages. Okay. All right. Thanks for your time.